Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about time solving problems, and you're going to complete this worksheet. So it combines word problems and telling time. So it's called elapsed time. You have to find out how much time has passed and then what time it will be within that time frame. So what that means is it's going to give you a story, and it's going to tell you that something happened a certain number of hours later, and you need to figure out what time that was. So, for example, number 1 says Sophia went horseback riding at 1 o'clock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate 1 o'clock on our clock here. All right, so 1 o'clock on the clock. Or let me pull it away, I guess, so you can see it. And she returned 3 hours later. What time did she finish? So that means that I have to take the clock and I have to move it, the minute hand, around 3 whole times. So 1 hour, 2 hours, and 3 hours. So we end at 4 o'clock. So what I would do is I would then take my worksheet and I would make it so it said 4 o'clock with the small hand, the hour hand pointing to the 4, and the minute hand pointing to the 12. So if you don't have a clock, which most of you I'm sure do not have a clock like this, you have a regular clock, and most of you have probably a digital clock on your cell phones or your mom's phone or your dad's phone or your iPad or a computer. Most of those times are digital clocks, not analog clocks. So we were going to practice figuring out the analog time by adding the numbers together. So when it says Jake went, and I'm doing the first 2 for you, and that means that you only have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you have to write your own problem to go with number 7. I guess that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So number 9. So this says Jake went swimming in the lake at 11 o'clock. Now, again, if I have my clock, I can make it say 11 o'clock on the clock, but I'm not going to do it with the clock until after to show you how to fix or how to check your answer. Because you guys, like I said, you probably don't have the clock. And even if you do have an analog clock, you can't take it off the wall and move the hands to see it. So Jake went swimming in the lake at 11 o'clock. He came home 2 hours later. What time did he come home? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to think 11 o'clock in my head, and I'm going to add 2 hours. So if I close my eyes and imagine going around the clock, 1 hour would be from 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock. And then to go from 12 o'clock, I would go all the way around, and it would be 1 o'clock. So it's a little confusing because you can't do 11 plus 2, because what is 11 plus 2 is 13. Well, unless you're talking about military time, which we're not, and we're not going to even go into that, we won't be saying 13 o'clock. After it gets to 12, it starts back over and starts back at 1, because there are 12 hours in the morning until the afternoon. And then afternoon, because noon is another word for 12 o'clock, there's the 12 hours start over again. So there's 12 hours from 1 o'clock until 12 o'clock, and then 12 hours from 12 o'clock until midnight again when it goes back to 12 o'clock. Because afternoon is 12 o'clock noon, and midnight is 12 o'clock a.m. So there's p.m. and a.m. 12 o'clock in the morning. So because we can't just say 11 plus 2 to give us 13, we know that once it gets to 12, if it says 13, then it's going 1 past 12. So that would be 1 o'clock. So I'm going to draw the minute hand to the 1 and the hour hand. Whoops, that's not exactly right, but that's okay. The hour hand on the 12. So this, and I could write the answers in case it's a little hard to see. So here I'm going to write 4 o'clock and 1 o'clock. In fact, I would prefer that you do that just in case you make a mistake on the hands of the clock. I can still see that you understand the concept. So let's show it with the clock itself. So if we started at 11 o'clock, probably would have been faster to do it the other way, but that's okay. All right, so 11 o'clock, if I want to go 2 hours, so 1 hour and 2 hours. So that means we're going around the clock 2 times. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, because it's 60 minutes in an hour. And then we have to do another 60 minutes. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. That's what it's doing when the hand goes around. And when I do it, it goes really fast. But when it's the actual time, we all know that the hand does not move that quickly. So we see that our answer was correct. That 11 o'clock coming home 2 hours later would be 1 o'clock. All right, so I hope that you have a better understanding of how to solve time word problems. If you need any help, please join me for my office hours at 1 o'clock. And we will also talk about this a little bit in our Zoom meeting today. So if you need help, we can go over it then. And we'll talk about writing our own story problems, and that's what we'll practice doing because I've already gone over these, and I'll go over them again in our Zoom meeting, but we're going to practice actually writing our own so that way we can do it on our worksheet. All right, have a great day, guys. Bye.